and we will do Q&A later. Okay. So if the voice disappear, you all tell me, all right? Now, so we stop here. So 113. When paths are made to arise by using the second, third, and fourth jhana in the five-fold reckoning as a basis for insight, then the jhana in those paths has respectively 4, 3, and 2 factors. In each case, however, the path factors number 7, and the fourth case, there are 6 enlightenment factors. This difference is due both to governance by the basic jhana and to the governance by insight. For again, while the preliminary insight can be accompanied by joy and it can be accompanied by equanimity, their insight leading to emergence is accompanied by joy only. All right. Now, this part is talking about like previously we are talking about sometimes we need to practice according to vipassana first and samatha later, or samatha first, vipassana later, or sometimes we can use jhana. Somebody might get jhana, but if they don't make jhana as a basis of insight, what's the meaning of a basis for insight? This means that they don't use the jhana, they just maybe at the access level or not even use the jhana. So they go to insight or practice vipassana. Now, what that means that by jhana as a basic means that use the first jhana here, and then they can contemplate the mind matter or contemplate the jhana factors. But here also can say comprehending unrelated formation. It's maybe here refer to nothing to do with jhana also can. Because after somebody get from jhana, they should contemplate like vitaka, vichara, piti, sukha, ekagata. But they also can contemplate other things like other things as long as to do with the mind method, they can contemplate. So it's talking about different factors and different jhana and so on. Okay. Right. Now the problem is here. They are when you're going to the emergence means reaching the nibbana. So this term of insight of emergence is actually explained later or earlier on. So it can be either with equanimity with joy. All right. So equanimity means without any joy factor. It can be if they are practicing on the higher jhana, fifth jhana, then there are no joy. Okay. Now there are some numbers here. Okay, now. Okay, Chai Hun, you read this one.
However, when the path is produced by making the fifth jhana the basis for insight, then the jhana factors number 2, that is equanimity and unification of the mind, and there are 6 enlightenment factors and 7 path factors. The difference too is due to both kinds of governance. For in this case, the preliminary insight is either accompanied by joy or accompanied by equanimity, but that leading to emergence is accompanied by equanimity only. The same method applies in the case of the path made to arise by making the immaterial jhanas the basis for insight.
Okay. All right. So let's say
Mm.
somebody practice first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana, and fifth jhana. Now on fifth jhana, remember we have vitaka, vichara, piti, sukha, ekatara. So fifth jhana, there's no piti, no sukha. So there's only equanimity, neutral feeling. And of course you have the ekagata, one-pointedness. All right. So you're talking about there are 6 jhana factors. 6 enlightenment. You know, Bojjhanga normally is 7. So there are 7 factors. Let's say we can minus the joy, right? Then there will be 6. Now they are talking about 8. Normally we have 8 factors of a noble path. Now here only talking about 7. Okay, now this 7, I was thinking what should we minus? Right? Because like Bojjhanga is easy because Bojjhanga you got the PT, Pasadi, you got the what Samadhi, you can minus the joy is okay. But let's say for 8 factors, you have to minus 1. So what should we minus here? Is it to minus a right thought? Because right thought means vitaka. Okay, so right thought is vitaka. So in the fifth jhana, there's no vitaka. So if you can think about that, then it's logic. Okay, because fifth jhana, there's no vitaka. So right thought is a vitaka here. So anyway, it's just trying to tell you what is the thing that possible. Even normally, 7 factors of enlightenment, there can be 6 here. Even Noble Eightfold Path, there can be a 7 here. Okay. This is talking about different way of entering the enlightenment and what will arise and what will not arise. Okay. Okay. Next person. Sister Kahong. You can read this one. Yes.
Yes, Saiji. Also, when after emerging from jhana, make the basis for insight. The path has been produced by comprehending no matter what formations unrelated to that jhana. Then it lizard's color. But in the case of the second elders theory, the path is like the attainment. Whatever it may be, which was instrumental in producing the path through the comprehension of any of its states after emergence from it. And here, governance by insight should be understood in the same way as before.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Nearest to the path. Attainment emerging from this one. So this attainment, not sure what is trying to talk about it. Now here talking about attainment in this one. Okay, I think we better read some more here. So in the case of third theory, path is like the jhana, wherever it may be that's suitable to personal band, which jhana is instrumental of the jhana. Okay, now this one is talking about this one. All right, the personal band. Right, this is a instrumental. Right. Now this is clear. Now it's talking about, like, let's say somebody in Abhidhamma, you all know, right? You can go inside the path by first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana, or fifth jhana, because there are 5 jhana. So which jhana that from which jhana then somebody cross over to the enlightenment, right? So here is talking about is it the nearest one? Maybe at that time he practiced 2 second jhana, so he go to the path. So his path will be based on the second jhana. Or somebody say it depends on which method he's using at that time as an instrument. Or somebody say it might be depends on a personal bent, means that his inclination. So let's say somebody his mind is more on the first jhana, or his mind is more on the second jhana, or on the third jhana. So his mind prefer which jhana. Or maybe somebody always like to do the fifth jhana because that's the best. That's a personal bent. Right. But this is not accomplished by mere bent alone unless the jhana has been made and basis for insight, or unless the jhana has been comprehended. Right. So you say that even somebody, his mind, he's want to be in a fourth jhana or fifth jhana, whatever, by just thinking about it is not possible unless the mind really reach the jhana, and that jhana is used as the basis for insight. Okay, so far what you say that, like, all the method practice here is you practice samatha first, and then you go for vipassana. All right. So according to here is samatha first, and based on samatha you go for vipassana. So that's the meaning here. And then that is firstly how it should be understood that equanimity about formation governs the number of enlightenment factors, path factors, and jhana factors. Okay. All right. So this means that when somebody reach the equanimity of formation, there's sankarupeka jnana. So depends on whether he got joy or not joy. So like enlightenment factors, path factors, or if he got vitaka or without vitaka. If he had no vitaka, initial application, so there will be no right thoughts and so on. So jhana factors, like first jhana got 1, 5, and then fifth jhana only got 2. So this means that when somebody reach the equanimity of formations, and then all these associate things Enlightenment factors, path factors, and jhana factors are not the same. It's not the same. Normally, we thought it's a noble, it will be 7 factors, it will be 8 factors, and we thought it's a 5 jhana factor, but it's not. It also depends on changes. Okay. I think both here is a little bit confusing, but this part 117 should be easy to understand. Sister Heng, Sister Xiong, this one 117. Sister Xiong Heng, yeah. Are you here? I cannot hear you.
Hear me now?
Yeah, now can hear. Now can hear. Okay.
My what not very good. Progress. But if insight has from the start only been able to suppress defilements with difficulty, with effort and with prompting, then it is called of difficult progress. The opposite kind is called of easy progress. And when the manifestation of the path, the goal of insight, is slowly effected after defilements have been suppressed, then it is called of a sluggish direct knowledge. The opposite kind is called of swift direct knowledge. So this equanimity about formations stands at the arrival point and gives its own name to the path in each case. And so the path has 4 names according to the kind of progress. There's difficult progress, swift direct knowledge. Difficult progress, sluggish direct knowledge. Easy progress, swift direct knowledge. Easy progress, sluggish direct knowledge.
Okay, thank you. So this is talking about how somebody attain enlightenment, or the progress of attain enlightenment. Difficult means somebody like practicing for more than 1 year, 2 year, 3 years. So the progress is very difficult. He will see a lot of suffering, a lot of pain, restless mind. So like he practice so hard. So all these are difficult. Easy progress will be somebody just practice maybe breathing, and he does not have much difficulty in the body problem or even with the mental defilement. So it's very easy. But somebody, even though easy progress or difficult progress, it can be divided to shift, means that he can penetrate very easily. Right? Let's say he want to know about Namarupa or mind matter or 7 factors enlightenment, he can reach it very fast. So sometimes the knowledge attained is very swift, sometimes very sluggish. All right. So sometimes swift and sluggish. Now the best, of course, easy progress. Easy progress means when you practice, you don't need to face so much of body problem or mental problem. And when you want to gain enlightenment or gain any direct knowledge, it will be easy, very fast. No need to wait for a long time. Okay. So of course, this is the best. So all the enlightenment of the Arahant or like Sariputra, Moggallana, they have different names. Now, for example, like Sariputra compared to Moggallana. Moggallana will be easy progress because Moggallana has a very deep concentration. That's why he has psychic power. Okay, right. But he say it should be shift. Some will say he's shift because he only need to be less day. But like Sariputra need to be longer because Sariputra he had great wisdom to understand everything. He need longer time. So Sariputra will say to be sluggish because he need 15 days for him to be penetrated all the Dhamma. Okay, so all these are different definition. But as long as you understand whether you practice comfortably or you practice very difficult, or when you see things, is it very swift or is it very sluggish? Let's say, for example, I have some devotees, they practice Vipassana for many years. So every time they keep on ask me the same question, like they asked the same question 10 years ago. After 10 years ago, they still ask the same question. So I was thinking there will be definitely theirs will be sluggish direct knowledge because it's more than 10 years already. They still ask the same question about rising, passing away, and then they see the abdomen rising, falling, and then they see it changes. That's all. 10 years ago, they tell me this thing. After 10 years ago, they are still telling me the same thing. So theirs will be sluggish direct knowledge. And some people like they practice metta. So after that, when we introduce like karuna, mudita, upeka, to them it's very difficult. They just prefer metta. Okay. So the moment we say other thing, they say they cannot, it's too much for them. So theirs will be what? Also sluggish because their mind only one type of meditation. They cannot change. Okay. Now, some here is say is shift, but according to other teachers say it's slow, right? All these are different explanation. Okay. Okay. So we read for one bhikkhu, this progress is different, while others same. For Buddhas, of course, four paths. This means that when Buddha he attained enlightenment, so he from the first path, of course, when he practiced as Prince Siddhartha, he was practicing ascetic for 29 to 35. So 6 years considered very difficult progress. That's when he was practicing the wrong way. But when he chose the right way, he contemplated the anapanasati, he gained the jhana. So based on the jhana, he practiced, he get the first path, second path, third path, fourth path in a very fast. So first path finished, then he go that second path, then third path and fourth path. So that's why for the Buddha is a easy way and shift knowledge. Now, Sariputra. Okay. Now, Sariputra will be same here. In Moggallana, first path is easy and direct, but others are difficult progress and sluggish. So only for Moggallana, first path means to be Sotapanna is easy and shift. But when he want to attain higher, will be difficult. Why? Because compared to Sariputra, his knowledge is considered less. Okay, that's one explanation here. Like, but what I tell you just now is what I read is compared to Sariputra and Moggallana. Moggallana is little bit easy, but Sariputra will be little bit difficult because of his higher knowledge. He need to penetrate all the Dhamma. So somebody says Sariputra need to take 15 days. Moggallana only takes 7 days to be Arahant. So all these are different explanation here, but we just take whatever is possible here. But okay, this means that even at one path, it can be one way. Other path can be, this means that first path is one way. So second, third, fourth, the Sakadami, Anagami, Arahant, all different way. Okay. Now, so actually, all the key point is which way we are practicing. I think most of us will be on the difficult progress. So because you have to struggle with pain, age, and so on, lesser mind, right? But we hopefully, even though it's difficult progress, but we hope that we can get very swift direct knowledge. Means that we understand the truth, attain nibbana in a fast way. Okay, right? So let's go for 118. So we need to finish this one by today. Okay, Vera?
Good evening, Saiji.
Yes.
118. Predominance. And as with the kinds of progress, so also with the kinds of predominance, which are different in the four paths for one bhikkhu and the same for another. So it is equanimity about formations that governs the difference in the progress, liberation. But it has already been told how it governs the difference in the liberation. Footnote number 40, the four predominants are those of zeal, desire, energy, consciousness, and inquiry. These are fold at idipada,
Sorry.
roads to power.
There are
Why
four.
fold idipada?
Four. Diving
Four
mistake.
idipada.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, sir.
So, okay, so you have predominance. Okay. Now, predominance, adipati. All right. So this is the adipati. So here is explained as, we call it chanda, viriya, chitta, vimamsa. Okay. So you can find this term is called Iddhipada. So Iddhipada, they translate in many ways. Basis of physic power, right? So Chanda, Chitta, Iddhive. Okay. So that's why there are different translations. So this is another possible translation in what basis of physic power. So means that based on this power, so okay. So like just now the progress is different. So the Iddhipada also different, right? Actually, what is this Iddhipada? Iddhipada is actually very strong by itself. I think I remember in the Sutta say the Buddha say because he has fulfilled this Iddhipada. So if he wish to live for another, he want to live up to another 20 years, up to 100 years, one kappa, it is possible for him because he has fulfilled this Iddhipada. But Ananda didn't understand, so he didn't ask the Buddha to live for up to one kappa, up to 100 years. Okay, so we see this one. So this is kind of like very strong power in the mind. So if you have strong desire for Nibbana, and then you put on strong effort, and then the mind, consciousness refer to mind, chitta here. So if the mind is also strong, so then your meditation will be strong. And inquiry here is a vimamsa. So vimamsa itself is a knowledge. Okay. So if you look at here, so in Pali will be a chanda. Chanda is desire. Chanda can be good or bad. So if you want to wish for Nibbana, you need to have a good chanda. Viriya is an effort. And then the consciousness is chitta. Inquiry is vimamsa. So you look at here, so this is a panya. Okay. So these four also govern how we attain enlightenment, whether fast or slow. Because if somebody, their chanda, their desire for Nibbana is not strong, so no matter how much they practice meditation, their mind, remember last time we say how to reach the Sankarupeka Jnana, the equanimity to formation. The mind need to incline towards the Nibbana, need to let go the formation. So if the desire for Nibbana is not there, so then the progress will be slow. So sluggish, difficult progress. Okay. And if the effort is not there, all right? And then if the mind is not strong, and finally, no. So if you look at in terms of 5 faculties, so you find that this is inside the 5 faculties. So this one also. So we can take it the chitta. Sometimes like in a Visuddhimagga, chitta is translated as a samadhi. Okay, right? So if we can take it about this, so we can see 1, 2, 3, 5 faculties is linked with this these 4 Iddhipada. Okay, right. So predominance and progress. So I will say this predominance or Iddhipada is very important for us if you want to have a shift direct knowledge or easy progress. Okay. Now, actually, sometimes easy or slow is depends on our karma also. Karma means if you practice something very hard, if you practice meditation very hard in the past, so this life will be very easy for you. So if you never practice hard, so this life will be difficult for you. Okay. All right. So just something here. Right. Now, all these are a little bit theory, but still we need to go through all the theory here. Sister Chai, yes.
Yes, thank you. 120.
120,
Furthermore, the path gets
121, yes.
yeah. Furthermore, the path gets its name for 5 reasons. That is to say, 1, owing to its own nature, or 2nd, owing to what it opposes, or 3, owing to its own special quality, or 4, owing to its object, or 5, owing to the way of arrival. If equanimity about formations induces emergence by comprehending formations as impermanent, liberation takes place with the signless liberation. If it induces emergence by comprehending them as painful, liberation takes place with the desireless liberation. If it induces emergence by comprehending them as not self, liberation takes place with the void liberation. This is its name according to its own nature. 122.
Yes.
When this path is arrived at with the abandoning of the signs of permanence, lastingness, and eternalness by effecting the resolution of the compact informations by means of the contemplation of impermanence, it is then called signless. When it is arrived at with the drying up of desire and longing, by abandoning perception of pleasure by means of the contemplation of pain, it is then called desireless. When formations are seen as void by abandoning perception of self, of a living being, of a person, by means of the contemplation of not self, it is then called void. This is its name according to what it possesses.
Okay. So one is nature. This is also talking about same impermanence, suffering, and non-self, how they go in. All right. So first see is as nature, either as a, you also mentioned about all these signless, desireless. So last time we already talked about this signless, desire. Signless means signless of formation. Desireless means because it's painful, of course you don't desire for it. And because it's non-self, it's called void here. Right. And then this called nature. Abandoning means abandon the permanence, opposite way, all right? Permanence, abandon the desire, abandon the perception of self. Okay, so this is called oppose. Okay, now next one, next person. Melinda, yes.
Thank you, Saji. 123.3. It is void because void of greed and so on. It is signless owing either to absence of the sign of materiality, etc., or to absence of only of the sign of greed and so on. It is desireless because of absence of desire as greed and so on. This is its name according to its own special quality. 124.4. It is called void, signless, and desireless too, because it makes the void signless. Desireless nibbana is object. This is named according to its object. 125.5. The way of a driver is twofold. Namely, insight's way of arrival applies to the path, and the path's way of arrival applies to fruition. Now, contemplation of not self is called void, and the path arrived at by void insight is called void. Again, contemplation of impermanence is called signless, and the path arrived at by the signless insight is called signless. 126. But while this name is inadmissible by the Abhinama method, 41, it is admissible by the Sotanta method. For they say by that method, change of lineage takes the name signless by making the signless nibbana its object. And while itself remaining at the arrival point, it gives its name to the path. Hence, the path is called signless, and its fruition can be called cause.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, thank you very much. All right. Okay, so all these are just different terms, different names. So you have first there's something on the nature, on the oppose. Oppose means abandon the permanence and so on. Qualities is quite same. Object will be talking about nibbana. Now fifth will be on arrival. So arrival to fourth. First is arrival applies to path and to fruition. All these are very theory things, but actually, yeah, just okay. So the path is also called void. All right. The contemplation is called void. The path is called void. Right. If contemplation is called signless, so the path is also called signless. Okay, so this means the path and fruition also you can give the name accordingly. All right. There's another things is talking about this. Change of lineage. Got trouble is the mind in the thought process. So later we see got trouble that will cross over to the got trouble is actually taking nibbana as object. So if it taking the mana, the signless nibbana, so that's why it also take the name signless. Signless here means no sign of formation. Okay, so because nibbana is signless, so that's why it calls signless also. While itself remaining at the arrival point, it gives its name to the path. So the path also will call signless here. Yeah. The fruition also can be called signless according to path of arrival. Okay. I think we just finished reading all. So lastly, contemplation of pain is called desirous because it arrives at the path by drying out desire for formations. The path arrived at by desirous insight is called desirous. The fruition of the desirous path is called desirous. Okay, so earlier on it's called signless. Now it's called desirous. In this way, insight gives its name to the path, and the path hands it on to the fruition. This is its name according to the way of arrival. This is how equanimity about formation governs the difference in the liberation. Okay, so what is said so far, there will be path and fruition. There is a inside the nibbana time. So before path and fruition, you have the God trouble. So before God trouble, you have the equanimity to all formation. So it's trying to say that they will just pass the name around. So one name, it is a signless name. So the path and fruition will be called signless. So if this is a desirous name, the path and fruition will be called desirous and so on. So they will just pass the name to the next chitta. Okay, now for this, that's why later we have a discussion about do you need to know Abhidhamma or not? No need to know Abhidhamma. So if you want to practice insight meditation, because like just now, the explanation just now about the equanimity or the Gotrobu, people will only understand it if they refer to the Abhidhamma study. So you can read the comprehensive manual of Abhidhamma, chapter 4 on cognitive process. Cognitive process is the thought process where you talk about which chitta will arise, and in the jhana process, what kind of chitta will arise and passing away. And in here is the enlightenment time, which chitta will arise and pass away. So now, I copy from there, so you can see AV. So during the path and fruition means enlightenment time. Average means somebody of average faculties, means the mind is not so sharp. Keen means that the mind, the wisdom is very sharp. Now the difference is when there's average, there's a PR here. Preparation. When there's the mind is very sharp, there's no need to prepare, so they can skip this process. Okay, so you have the V vibrating bhavanga, you have the A arresting bhavanga, so there will be two bhavanga pass. Now at the mind door normally two, in the sixth sense door is a three bhavanga. So you have the mind door everything, then there you will have the parikama. So normally we remember in Pali easy. So preparation, parikama, then there will be upachara, access, then there will be conformity, anuroma, then there will be a CH, change of lineage. So what we remember, I mean for you all, if you want the shortcut, what I remember is PUAG, easy to remember. Okay, Palikama, Upachara, Anuroma got trouble. That's how I remember in Pali lah. All right. So Palikama is easy. Is same with the P preparation. Upachara is access. Anuroma is conformity. Now, conformity means it's conform to the previous chitta. Now, change your lineage at this point, it will change from the whirling to the enlightened to the noble person. So that's why I call it change of lineage. So Gotra is a lineage here. Okay, Bu is crossover, change. So the real chitta, they will see nibbana. Actually, according to the text, change of lineage will see nibbana. But the one that really take nibbana as object is the path and fruition. Path and fruition, magga and pala. After that, then the mind will go for bhavanga. right? So after that, there will be reflection on the process, take over, and so on. Now, that's why just now I say the path and fruition, they also have the name like signless, desirous, according to the insight leading to emergence, or according to change of lineage. It will take the name like signless, desirous, and void, and so on. So these are just a very short explanation on this thought process. So for the basic Abhidhamma, actually I didn't do a review on this one. I just do review on the sixth sense though. Okay, now. Okay, next person. 128 and 129. Sister Yo? Yes.
Good evening, Saji. Okay, 128. As he repeats, develops and cultivates that equanimity about formations, his fate becomes more resolute, his energy better asserted, his mindfulness better established, his mind better concentrated, while his equanimity about formations grows more refined. 129. He feels now the path will arise, equanimity about formations, about comprehending formations as impermanent, or as painful, or as not self, sinks into the life continuum. Next to the life continuum, mind or everything arises, making formations its object as impermanent, or as painful, or as not self, according to the way taken by equanimity about formation. Then next to the functional adverting consciousness that arose, displacing the life continuum, the first impulsion consciousness arises, making formations its object in the same way, maintaining the continuity of consciousness. This is called the preliminary work. Next to that, a second impulsion consciousness arises, making formations its object in the same way. This is called the access. Next to that, 670, a third impulsion consciousness also arises, making formations its object in the same way. This is called conformity.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you,
All right.
Saji.
Okay, now. So 128 is trying to tell us that how are you going to make this equanimity about formation? That's we call it the highest whirling vipassana knowledge that somebody can practice before attain enlightenment. How to make it more strong. So you can see here, it's talking about the faith. You still have faith. This means that your 5 faculties here, faith, effort, mindfulness, concentration. Okay, so here talking about 4 faith. So then when you are based on the 4 faith, so 5 faculties, remember 5 faculties like mentioned just now, you have sada, Pali will be sada, viriya, chit, sati, samadhi, and panya. Okay, so from the beginning of meditation, we need to focus on this one, make this one strong. Now, at the end of meditation, before enlightenment, we still had to make this very strong. So faith, make your faith very strong. Yes, you really believe in Buddha teaching. You really understand that life is very suffering. Now you can see all the way in Iran, all the way fighting in the Iran, it affects the whole life of the whole world. Okay, so life is actually very suffering. So you have to have faith in the Buddha teaching. Then increase the energy, viriya, and make sure the mindfulness establish well on your mind matter. And then focus samadhi actually means concentration or focus. Then after that, panya. How are you going to make panya? Panya means equanimity about formation. So you need to make sure you can let go all the mind matter, see them arising, passing away, or whatever good and bad you need to let go. Now, the text actually in Visuddhimagga, the translator, he translate the word, he thinks. Now, when I listen to the teaching by Usilananda about the Visuddhimagga. He said all the translator with there are two translation of this book, Nyana Moli and Pe Upe Mountain. So these two are wrong because it's impossible to think the path will arise, because when you're practicing and when your equanimity of formation is very strong, so at that point you cannot even think because you are in going to reach Nibbana. But it's possible to say either he feels, or maybe we say that maybe we even drop the word feels better. Maybe don't drop it. Maybe how could it? Not to say think or feel, maybe say maybe we just drop the word think. Okay, maybe just say it will happen in the mind.
Maybe we
mind.
can use the word aware.
Not really aware, I think. Maybe okay, aware I think is better. Yeah, maybe aware. Yeah, he has
aware.
the
He
yeah.
aware
Good. I think
down
aware
the
is a good
pathway.
term. Yeah, he aways means that he got the he's in that kind of mood, meditation mood. He may be able to sense, or maybe we can use the word he sense, but he definitely not going to think in a that kind of thinking way. Maybe I think aware is also not good. I forget how the Usilananda side he translate our experiences. Okay, maybe we think about this way. Maybe so. Okay, we just leave it like this. Okay, instead of he thinks, or because it's already near to Nibbana, there's no time for him to think. So you just put it. Okay, it's the time. Okay, maybe we just put the one. It is time. Okay, it is. Okay, it's the time. Okay. Is the time actually reached because of when he faculty state? It's the time the path will arise. Now, after that, what happened will be the last process, the last equanimity of formation. It will arise and it will take either impermanent suffering non-self. After that, you go to Bhavanga. So after that Bhavanga, like just now, you have the mind door process. Okay, then you have the uh first impulsion. So all these, like what we see above, all these Parikama, Upachara, Anurama got trouble. So preparation, access, conformity got trouble. All these are uh, impulsion. Okay, impulsion. Impulsion means jhana. Okay, jhana chitta. Jhana chitta is translated as impulsion. So you got 1, 2, 3, right? So these are individual names, but admissible to call them 3 impulsion jhana. So it's the same type of chitta will arise, but they have different process. So the first one called preliminary work. It's like prepare. Then access next to it. Conformity means it conform to the previous type of chitta. Then gotrabu is that. Okay, now what is conformity here? To what precedes, to what is follow. So it conforms to the function of the truth, both in the 8 preceding kinds of insight knowledge and 37 states partaking of enlightenment that follow. Okay, now 8 kinds. So we can take it here is Mahakusala, right? Because what kind of chitta that will reach enlightenment, right? For Arahant, of course, is the Mahakriya. For normal being who had not reached the Arahant level, there will be either one of the Mahakusala, great insight, great kusala, great wholesome mind will take it. So after the kusala mind, then the Magaphala will arise. So kusala mind is also jhana. So there's a meaning of conforms to what it is. So that's the function. One will prepare, one is access near to it, one will conform to the earlier on and to what follow. Okay. Now 130. Now this is talking about reaching Nibbana. Okay. So I hope you are very excited because if you really want to know how to reach Nibbana, the Visuddhimagga actually explain very clearly here. Okay, 130 is a lots of text here. Brother Lim, you can read. 130, yeah.
Since its occurrence is contingent upon formations, through comprehending the characteristics of impermanence, etc., it so to speak, says, knowledge of rise and fall indeed saw the rise and fall of precisely those states that possesses the rise and fall. And contemplation of dissolution indeed saw the dissolution of precisely those states that possess dissolution. And it was indeed precisely what was terrible that appeared as terror to knowledge of appearance as terror. And contemplation of danger indeed saw danger in precisely what was dangerous, and knowledge of this passion indeed became dispassion towards precisely that which should be regarded with dispassion. And knowledge of desire for deliverance indeed produced desire for deliverance from precisely what there should be deliverance, and what was reflected upon by knowledge of reflection was indeed precisely what should be reflected upon. And what was looked on at with equanimity by equanimity about formation was indeed precisely what should be looked on at with equanimity. So it conforms to the function of the truth, both in these 8 kinds of knowledge and in the 37 states partaking of enlightenment which follow, because they are to be reached by entering upon it.
Okay, thank you. I think Brother
you,
Lim,
thank
you study in English school, right?
Yeah.
Definitely. That's why your English is very good.
No
Compared,
lah, I'm just
compared to us,
learning only.
we are mixed year, mixed day one. Okay, so anyway, here is talking about different type of insight knowledge we see before. Knowledge of arising and fall we see before, and then after you see something rise and fall, you see something dissolute only. Then we see something disappear all the time. You have you see there as a terror. Then you see that as danger. Okay, then you get dispassionate. Then you want to deliver from it. So it's actually listed all the vipassana knowledge. After that, you should be reflect on the namarupa again. Then finally, you got the equanimity about formation. So this part is listing all the knowledges that appear before the enlightenment. So it's like try to make it more matured here. Because to reach enlightenment, somebody have to go through the whole thing again and make them as strong as possible. So it conforms to the function of truth both in these 8 kinds of knowledge and in the 37 states partaking of enlightenment which follow, because they are to be reached by entering upon it. Okay. Now, this part is actually interesting to read. Now, in Visuddhimagga, it gives lots of simile, so it's good to read this one. Sister Jacqueline? Yes.
From neither 132, is it?
Yes, yes.
Conformity is like the king. 8 kinds of knowledge are like 8 judges. The 37 states partaking of enlightenment are like the ancient royal custom. Herein, just as the king conforms by saying, so be it, both to the judge's pronouncement and to the royal custom, so this conformity, which arises contingent upon formations through comprehending impermanence, etc., conforms to the function of truth both in the 8 kinds of knowledge and in the 37 states partaking of enlightenment that follow. Hence, it is called knowledge in conformity with truth. Knowledge of conformity is ended.
Okay, thank you. So it's just a simile, there's a king here, right? That's the idea. So conformity. So they have 8 types of knowledge. This means the Mahakusala, 8 judge. So 37 is like ancient lawyer here. Right, so the king just be it. So it actually conformity it doesn't do much. It's just like conform to whatever happened earlier on about anicca dukkha anatta. Conformity will be this CN conformity, right? To whatever knowledge appear earlier on, and after that it makes sure that it's really impermanent suffering and non-self. Then the knowledge will pass to the change of lineage. Change of lineage is the one that you will say really kind of like see Nibbana. But the one take Nibbana will be Magga Phala, path and fruition, all right? So conformity is the one that conform to the truth of anicca dukkha anatta, or conform to the like dissolution, terror, dispassion, and so on. It's just too much, doesn't do much. It's just like the king here. Okay. So okay, I think we break for 5 minutes, then we continue.